Have you ever put so much blood, sweat, and tears into something and it failed? Yes, I have too. Have you ever done it and it succeeded? I have too. Have you ever done it and it succeeded and then did it again and then it failed? Well, I have too. So I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why our garden this year failed. When we've had previous gardens, been abundant fruits, vegetables, everything we ever wanted, especially last season. So we went into this season thinking, man, we did great last season, we're going to do even better this season. And we planted everything, we did everything the same way, if not better and more, and tweaked some things. But the one thing, and it's not just one thing, it's multiple things, but the one thing we really didn't take into account is the other variables. So the other variables would be things like droughts. Not to mention, you know your bugs, you know you got diseases, you know you got all that stuff, so you have that taken care of. But what if the weather changes? And that's a big thing. Especially if you're gardening in the city. And that's really what this is for. If you're an urban gardener, then this video is for you. If you're out in the country, or at the very least you have a well at your home, well water, then maybe you can move on. But this video is really for the urban and city gardener, backyard gardener. So we live in, east central Florida, or west central Florida rather, and last season rather, we do 2 seasons, fall and spring. Summer's off season for this part of Florida because of the heat, humidity, pests, and disease. So last season and the seasons before that, we had a very nice amount of rain and watering from the hose, from our city water. This year we are in a drought. It's been a drought for quite some time. So we went about business as usual. We planted all of our stuff, fertilized, did all of our organic stuff. Same way, improved it a little bit with timing and amounts and all that kind of stuff. But nothing was really taken off. I mean, we started in January with planting seeds and stuff like that. Nothing really took off. Nothing did. We had seeds, stuff we planted from seeds, stuff that was in the soil already from the last season that was sprouting, yellow pear tomatoes, Cherokee purples, mortgage collectors, jalapeno peppers, all sorts of different stuff that was sprouting. And so we weeded a lot of that out, but left what we wanted and put in our new sprouts. And then we did buy some store-bought stuff, and we've done that every year, supplement. So we did that, and everything started growing and did its thing. Well, then it kind of stopped raining. It stopped raining for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, maybe a sprinkle, literally a sprinkle here or there. And yet we were watering, with a hose. And mind you, I understand you got the people out there who have your soaker hoses, which is great, and those work great. But I watered from under the canopy of the plants, didn't splash, all that stuff. Very careful, just like I did seasons before. Well, one thing I noticed is the smell in the city water. They treat it several times a year with chlorine to kill stuff in the pipes or whatever it is it's for in our drinking water, and not to mention the fluoride and every other chemical that's in there. So one thing I realized is we have no rain. All these plants are getting as far as water and what's going into the soil is treated water, and everything literally just starts dying. It is without coming to its potential at all. I mean, I have had reapers, Scotch bonnets, every sort of tomato plant, heat tolerant, everything that we have strategically put in for this time of year that has worked many seasons before, including in other gardens with and without soaker hoses, all city water, it just started dying off. And the only variable that has changed significantly is the rain. But I did notice, and I've noticed this years in the past, where when it does rain, the next couple days, few days after, the plants love it. They're booming, they're happy, they're perked, they're loving it. And plants just keep dying. They're dying off. They're not producing if they're not dying. If they are producing anything, their fruits are very, very small. And then they half the time wilt off. And with the combination of the city water, the heat, humidity, it's a recipe for disaster. So if I can give you any bit of advice as far as backyard gardening in the city, is make a rain barrel. We've had a rain barrel. We haven't hooked it up because really we didn't need it. Everything was always going good. But you don't realize you need something until it goes bad, right? So now we're hooking up the rain barrel, obviously, so this won't happen again, at least while we're here. We are planning on moving out of here up north to rural Tennessee, North Carolina, maybe Alabama, and we won't have to worry about that anymore. But while we're here, we're going to have to make the changes. So we're going to do it in a rain barrel with the gutters coming off the house, going in the rain barrel, filtered, and then a spigot on the bottom, which I'll show you all that in another video, or in the next video rather. But so you have to account for every single little thing in your garden if you want to be successful. And of course, no one starts a garden to be a failure, but you're going to fail. It doesn't matter, I don't care how smart you are, how clever you are, you're going to fail at some point. Your first garden might be awesome, your second garden might suck. Who knows? But you're going to fail at some point in time on something. And that's what makes us better. That's how we learn, that's how we grow. And so I just want to share that with y'all, that city water, I'm telling you, is poison for plants. Supplementally, you know, say maybe it doesn't rain that week, okay, I think that's fine, and that's how we worked before. But if it hasn't rained, if it's rained twice in 3 months, then that's a problem. So I would do a rain barrel. We're going to do an inline filter to filter out as much as we can from that city water. But also, you can fill garden watering jugs up. Fill it with your water out of the hose. Leave it out in the sun for a few days. That chlorine and a lot of that stuff is going to evaporate and go away. And that's what we've been doing as well. You know, recently, just in the last week, to try to salvage what we can. As far as if you are in a humid climate, hot and humid, and like we are, where summer is not the grow season for us, for here in Florida, we put up a sunshade, which I can show you real quick. You know, that's kind of a, it's rough, it's a few years old, but it blocks, I think that one's 50% of the sun. It works great. So yeah, just gotta pay attention to the variables. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. One last thing though, and a very important thing, you might have seen these sitting here, that my beautiful, wonderful girlfriend, life partner, pointed out to me today. So here I have 2 almost identical cans of corn, great value, from Walmart. If there is anything you can notice that's different on these two, is this one says picked and packed same day. So they look identical, right? Golden sweet whole kernel corn. Picture's the same. Most of the packaging's the same, unless you look at the back. And you're going to see a few things that are different. And The first thing is on the one that doesn't say picked and packed the same day, there is a warning label. What does that warning label say? Well, I will tell you. Consuming this product can expose you to chemicals including lead, which are known to the state of California, because it only happens in California that you get exposed to those things and it hurts you, is known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects or other reproductive harm. That's in your canned vegetables. Things that you're consuming that you're giving your family. It's insane. This can, picked and packed the same day, has no warning label whatsoever. What it does have is Walmart greatforyou.com, great for you symbol. It is also gluten-free. What does it say? Gluten-free. This one has no great for you symbol, no gluten-free, even though the ingredients, it says on the ingredients, corn, water, salt. Corn, water, salt. So the point of that is you gotta look at your labels. I didn't know this. I'm as, naive as most people. I just look at, see the label, oh, whole kernel of corn. Looks the same, whatever, buy it, eat it, and that's that. You really got to read your labels. If I don't grow it and I have to buy it, better believe I'm reading everything from now on. It's not just the calorie content, not just the carb content, not just the ingredients, but you got to read everything. Another interesting thing I noticed too, and I don't know if this has any weight, but the one that, the cancer corn, this guy right here, is recyclable. It has that symbol on it. The one that supposedly is not cancer corn has no recycling symbol on it. So I don't know what that tells you. Do your own research, but all I can say, people, is read your labels. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to eat cancer corn. That's it.